The single most powerful managerial position in all of English football has just been suddenly and unexpectedly vacated. For nearly a decade, Pep Guardiola dictated the tactical meta of the Premier League, setting the standard every club reacted to. His departure strips Manchester City of their central architect, leaving the squad without the specific leadership required to maintain their complex system. This creates an immediate void. Rival clubs are currently scrambling through the August transfer window, attempting to hastily rebuild. But the environment at Arsenal is very different. In North London, the focus isn't on a desperate rebuild, but on a final, calculated refinement. Mikel Arteta has executed a specific, surgical transfer designed to capitalize on this shift in power. Arsenal's recent title win, ending a 22-year drought, was the output of a meticulously constructed tactical machine. Their latest move isn't a reaction to the market, but the final installation of a systemic upgrade designed to secure their position at the top. That final installation is the massive £75 million acquisition of Bruno Guimaraes. In Arteta's system, Guimaraes serves as the primary structural load bearer in the center of the pitch. Prior to this signing, Arsenal operated with a squad that had reached its tactical limit within the traditional midfield rotation. This personnel change is engineered to re-rate the team's spatial architecture. Arsenal has acquired the specific variable required to force a total recalibration of existing defensive playbooks across the league. This diagram maps Arsenal's previous 4-3-3 formation in possession. The core vulnerability was the double pivot shuffle. When possession changed, central midfielders had to shift laterally, creating a structural delay and opening lanes for opponents to exploit. The specific player most impacted by this systemic requirement was Martin Ødegaard. To compensate and protect the backline, Ødegaard was tethered to the midfield. This forced him to drop deep for cover, expending energy far from goal. Operating deeply prevented him from maximizing influence in the final third, limiting chance creation. Even as champions, Arsenal operated with a structural constraint that restricted their most dangerous offensive asset. The solution is the integration of Bruno Guimaraes into the base of the midfield. Guimaraes is tasked with securing the first phase build-up independently. This creates an asymmetric division of labor. Guimaraes serves as the primary anchor, providing stability that allows the midfield to push higher without leaving the center exposed. This immediately releases Ødegaard from his defensive anchoring. Ødegaard is now free to operate as an unanchored playmaker, focusing his energy exclusively on exploiting spaces in the final third. By consolidating defensive coverage into a single variable, Arsenal has enabled their captain to stay in the zones where he is most effective. With the anchor in place, the entire system shifts into a new fluid possession shape. This is the 3-box-3. 3 defenders, a central box of 4 midfielders, and 3 high attackers. This structure is built on the same principles of positional play geometry that have historically defined Spanish tactical dominance. The similarities between Arsenal's new shape and this established model of control are precise. Within the central box, the 4 midfielders execute a continuous rotation. They interchange positions while maintaining the overall shape of the box. This movement creates a persistent numerical advantage in the center of the pitch. It challenges standard man marking, as opponents must decide whether to follow runners or hold their zone. When the structural shape remains constant despite the internal movement, defensive pressing triggers become much harder to coordinate. Arsenal has engineered a possession geometry that forces opponents to solve complex spatial problems on every single pass. To see why this is effective, look at how a standard defensive block attempts to react. When a flat line attempts to press the 3-box-3, they face consistent spatial mismatches. The rotating box opens lanes that bypass the initial press. Disrupting this geometry requires a highly specific and coordinated pressing architecture. Most current tactical setups in the league are not yet designed to counter a system with this level of central fluidity. Arsenal has reached a point where their structural organization provides a consistent advantage over the current tactical capacity of their rivals. This brings us back to the power vacuum left by Guardiola. The manager who pioneered the principles required to counter this style of play has exited the league. While Manchester City faces a period of transition and structural uncertainty, Arsenal has achieved tactical completion. There is a clear sense in North London that they have built something sustainable. Marrying this unanchored attacking structure with a stable defensive pivot creates a model that will be difficult for any rival to displace. Guardiola's exit and Arsenal's systemic refinement positions the club as the league's new tactical benchmark, the team everyone must now solve.